let's try that review thing a lot of people do, where you talk about something, you give your opinions, and then you put like a nice little number at the end of the video, so then other people can agree with you, disagree with you, get angry, or whatever. Why not? A very controversial movie, Suicide Squad. I saw it a couple days ago. I was told all across the board it was either fucking awesome or fucking terrible. So I was very curious, and I see most of the comic movies anyways, because I tend to be really entertained by them. And this year we had two fantastic ones. Deadpool came out of nowhere to become, I think, it was one of the top three highest grossing R-rated movies of all time. Yeah, that shit did gangbusters, and it deserved to. It was an awesome movie. Ryan Reynolds really redeemed himself from the Green Lantern. And then Civil War, which might be the best Marvel movie to date. That alongside the second Captain America, Winter Soldier. Both great movies. Both movies you want to really buy later and watch again. So what about Suicide Squad? Not so much. And again, this is my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and that's perfectly fine. I think, and maybe I was a little biased going into it, because I had issues with the design of the Joker, and a lot of other people did. I thought he looked like a cross between Marilyn Manson and Paul Wall. Yeah, just grills. I mean, really? Like, it's like the definition of trying too hard. Fuck, all those gaudy ass tattoos. The one on his hand with the smiley face, it's kind of funny in a way, but it seems like it was done just for this one part of the movie where you'll see it. I don't want to give it away, but yeah, you scratch your head and you go, why? Just why? Now, I had no problem with Jared Leto's performance. It was pretty good. He's no Heath Ledger, but who is? That was a magnificent performance of the Joker in The Dark Knight. And he, everyone knew he wasn't going to top that. For his part, he tries. He does try. It's just when I see this thing that's not the Joker, that is designed in a way, it looks almost like a parody of the Joker, if that's even possible. It looks like just a damaged tattoo across his head. Just way overboard, way too much. When you add that to all the other tattoos on him, I'm like, I don't want to see Joker with ha 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 tattoos. I want to see him, I can't do the laugh. I'm not even going to attempt it. I want to see him going crazy and laughing and being a psycho. And you do get some of that in the movie, but it just kind of feels so, like, forced and just overdone. Just an overcooked Joker. But it's hard to even talk about the Joker, because he's not in the movie but like for a hot minute, few minutes he's in the movie. At least that's what it feels like, because you have this movie which is fucking over 2 hours long. I didn't know it would be 2 hours long going in. I thought I'd go in, I'd see a nice little hour and a half Suicide Squad movie, and then I'd be out. I didn't think it'd be as long as like damn Civil War, because and it's unfair to compare this to something like Civil War, because on the one hand you have like supporting characters like Black Panther, and in this one you have Captain Boomerang. Like, seriously, fucking Captain Boomerang. I like some of the characters in Suicide Squad. It's just so it's all over the place. And the movie starts out, and I don't want to go into a lot of the movie, so this is difficult. I'm trying to do a review without going into any spoilers, because I don't believe in really doing that. Because I just want to give you my impression and tell you if I think you should go see it or not, spend your money or not on it. It almost feels like maybe it's being harsh, but from the very beginning, there's this glaring music. Very, very intensely loud, like bleeding ears music. And at certain times in the movie, the music is so fucking loud it almost seems like a music video. And then I start thinking, was all this music added like after to maybe lighten the mood of the movie? Because it feels like there's two different movies here. It feels like there's one that's very serious, okay, and one that's just kind of like campy and hammy. And they don't meld together that well. Some movies can do it and pull it off effortlessly, but this is not one of those movies. Case in point, there's one scene you'll notice with Deadshot towards the very end. That's very kind of he's having a flashback. And when you get there, if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. Toward the end of the movie. And when you see it, you're just like, that seems like nothing about this character. Because, like, it seems like through the movie the character grows a little bit. But when you see him having this flashback of something that he wants and wishes to happen, you're just like, oh, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I warned you, this is going to be all over the place. This is not like one of those by the point, technical reviews. So what about the movie works? Well, even though I have issues with the Joker, how he's presented, I think it works. Joker is good in the movie. You could tell he's really putting a lot into the performance. He works because he has Harlequin to play off of. I think Harlequin, Margaret Robbie, she does a much better job as Harlequin than Jared Leto does as Joker. And I guess you don't need a whole lot to be a good Harlequin, because it's kind of like not that deep of a character. But she's just a really bright highlight of the movie. There's times where it's a little bit overdone and you see her a little bit too much, and then she attempts at humor and it just kind of falls flat. But what doesn't fall flat is just her very vibrantness. And you just kind of look at her and you're like, that is probably what she would be like in real life. And it doesn't hurt that she's really hot, and the movie tends to focus on her body quite a bit. So no complaints here. So yeah, we got that. And Will Smith, it does a really good job as Deadshot. Really does. He gives a much better performance than you would probably expect from a movie like this. But I guess, I don't know who the de facto lead character in the movie is. I would probably have to say Deadshot. But it feels just kind of like weird. I know there doesn't always have to be one protagonist, but it feels like Deadshot's kind of the leader in a way. Now the plot is essentially there's a lot of supervillains, and the government is wrangling them up to try to use them as a force. And you might say to yourself, like, that's not a good idea. How are they going to control supervillains? Well, they put like little bombs in her neck that would go off and kill them if they disobey the orders. What's in it for them is, if they complete the missions, they get years taken off their sentences. Win-win for everybody, I guess. And they're, of course, put on suicide missions, quote the name Suicide Squad. It's based on this comic. I didn't read the comic it's based on, or any of it, but that's what it comes from. So you have Deadshot, then you have Harlequin, and then you have Joker. They do good, play their roles good. But it just feels like, to me, all the other characters just kind of like, they just don't feel like they're fully fleshed out. It's like they just threw some characters in there, and there's an occasional funny scene with Captain Boomerang here and there. But for the amount of money that was spent on advertising, I think they spent almost as much advertising on this as they did Batman v Superman, which was also, I like this better than Batman v Superman, because there was at least some fun in this movie. There was some action in this movie. Batman Superman, I don't even want to get into that. That's just like that. What ruined that was mostly who they got to play. It feels like almost I want to say the Joker in that movie, Lex Luthor. And I called it from the very beginning. I said, this movie is going to be fucking terrible because of that dude they got to play Lex Luthor. Joel Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg, whatever his name is. Because I thought, yeah, there were some other people that they were considering to play the Joker. Like the guy from Breaking Bad. How badass would that have been? That bald dude from Breaking Bad. But no, Jesse Eisenberg. The dude from The Social Network. You know, that fucking dweeb. Like, that's going to be a great Lex Luthor. Like, that's a powerful character. You know, and it came off even worse than you would think. That's enough about Batman v Superman. That's worth watching just for Ben Affleck in it. Ben Affleck was great in that. And Ben Affleck, and you might thinking, you're going off track, you're talking about another movie. No, Batman is in this movie for like a second or two. He's in the movie. So that's kind of cool. So Ben's here. They're tying the universes together in a way. And there's a scene where Batman chases down Joker and Harlequin. And you really kind of that's when you start to kind of get in the movie. You're like, this is really awesome, I'm pretending this is a better movie than it is. But then that's over, and then you go back to the dread. So of course the Suicide Squad is taking on enemies. I call them, black popcorn zombies. Again, I'm not going to go into the plot, but it's really like they're really lame looking enemies. And then there's a big goofy looking enemy at the very end. And again, I don't know, maybe it felt like there was humor and then there was unintentional humor. And all across the board, it's not a well put together movie. What saves it from being crap is, like I said, Will Smith is Deadshot, and then Joker and Harlequin. Their couple scenes together, are just fantastic. Would you die for me? Would you live for me? That was a fantastic scene. Okay, so there's some good parts in the movie. Killer Croc is kind of funny at times. I'm just saying, I saw it. I thought it was better than probably I thought it would be. But, like I said, I mostly just wanted to see it out of morbid curiosity. Do I recommend it? I would say, if you are a huge fan of, like, the comic Suicide Squad, and, if you're a huge fan, if you just want to see a DC movie, just don't go out of your way. You can go see it, just don't go out of your way. I went to see it on a Tuesday, and in my local theater, it's like $5. I think it's half off. So, for like $5, it's just, I warn you, it's gonna feel like a 3-hour movie. It just kind of drags. It doesn't go by that quick. It just, there's certain, and it doesn't seem like I should be saying it because there's a lot of action. Don't get it wrong. There's probably more action than there is in Batman v Superman. Just, there's lulls that just feel kind of like, bleh. At least in my opinion. And again, that's just my opinion. Maybe I might have to go watch it again to give you a better review, but fucking, I'm not doing that. And that's the key here. If I were grading it on a 5-star scale, I would give it barely 3 out of 5 stars. Like, a little bit maybe under 3, but probably 3 out of 5. Yeah, and that's it. So, I would say probably just maybe go see something else. Fuck it, yeah. And it's depressing, because if you watch this movie, you will probably feel like I did in a lot of ways about the Joker Harlequin stuff. You will want Joker and Harlequin to be in the movie a lot more. And ironically, what's his fucking name? Jared Leto. Jared Leto was really pissed that a lot of the Joker scenes were cut from the movie. So try to wrap your head around that. the best scenes of the movie by far, and they probably knew this when they were making it, were the Harlequin Joker scenes where they were together. They have a really nice chemistry together, and the scenes came out great. Why would you cut all those fucking scenes out of this movie when the movie is over 2 hours long? This is not even a main DC movie, it's like a side movie. I mean, I'm looking at Suicide Squad like, what the fuck do you think? Do you think you're Guardians of the Galaxy? Do you think you have enough in your movie to interest me? No, it's not. You're... And I'll tell you the main problem with this movie. I don't know a lot of these fucking characters, and just to be straight out, the movie doesn't give you a reason to give a damn about these characters. It's just like it throws on the screen one scene after the other, an action scene, a sad scene, and you're supposed to sell me on these characters being some of the worst, right? Some of the worst villains, characters you wouldn't want to cross. Some of these characters seem like freaking teddy bears compared to like an anti-hero like a Batman, right? They just seem, like I said, I don't... If you're gonna sell me on characters, I don't even know. You have to do like they did in Guardians of the Galaxy. You have to make these characters amazing. And you have to sell me on these characters. But this movie just, it seems like it's such a... This movie is like the Jeb Bush of DC movies. It's just so low energy. Which is ironic because you can tell they put a lot of fucking money into this movie. A lot of money. I think they're gonna lose a lot of money on Suicide Squad. Batman v Superman made a lot of money, but I read one report they barely didn't make that much money when they factored in all the advertising. Suicide Squad is going to be a loss because they put a shit ton of money into the advertising. So a lot of bad decisions all the way around. But yeah, I would think that's really probably my two criticisms. Not enough Harlequin and Joker. And you wonder at first, like, man, seems like he would be a bigger deal in a movie like this. How do you have Joker in a movie and Joker's not a big part of that movie? And then when you find out that they cut a lot of that scenes out, it makes you almost think, are they making like a side Joker Harlequin movie or something? Are they saving some of that shit? Almost makes you think that. And the other fact that if you're going to sell me on a character called Captain Boomerang, you have to explain to me why this character is awesome and I should care. Most of the movie, not a spoiler, but he doesn't even really use the boomerang that much. He uses 2 knives. He's just some guy in a trench coat that uses 2 knives. And has a boomerang and has a camera on it. He can throw it and do recon. How bad is it that I'm trying to remember other characters in the movie right now and I just saw it a couple days ago? There's a chick with a katana. The katana that cuts people and can absorb their souls. She talks to, I think, maybe her husband or her brother in the sword. So that was kind of interesting. And then you got your Killer Croc. But he doesn't really do that much. He doesn't say that much in the movie. There's a couple one-liners towards the end that's kind of funny. Then you have, of course, Rick Flag, which is the character that's leading them everywhere. Yeah, Harlequin then you have Deadshot. Then you have, okay, Slipknot, not the band. Slipknot is he's in the movie for a very long time. Lots of time the movie spends with Slipknot. Yep. So yeah, it's my summary. I can't even remember some of the damn characters. Like, wow, it definitely left a lasting impression on me. Jeez. So yeah, don't go see Suicide Squad. Or don't pay full price. If you can get a discount, maybe go to it, but yeah, it's just not worth your time. Just not worth your time. Okay. Well, thank you for listening to this all over the place review Don't expect that many because I don't think I'm that good at this reviewing shit. You know, I'll leave it to Rotten Tomatoes. Go to Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Okay. Well, all of you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.